You want my job? All right, then. So watch out for you. Well, I hope so. Don't worry, I haven't lost anybody today.
Got some duct tape on it.
There you go. But Southern Ohio, close to Portsmouth, or?
Yeah, I'm actually 40 miles from Portsmouth, right across the river from Huntington, West Virginia.
All right. I've got an uncle who lives in Portsmouth. I have yet to see him there. He used to live in Dayton, or close to Dayton.
Awesome. If you want to go and fly me to the house, I can get a ride home.
There you go.
Woo. So where am I supposed to put my hands when I want to grab something?
So you're all right.
I don't get to grab anything.
You don't need to grab anything. You're all good. Don't worry. I told you I haven't lost anybody all day, and there's nothing you need to hold on to. It's all going to come with us. So.
Okay. This is so cool.
And what part of Georgia?
Alpharetta.
Okay.
Just north of it.
I know right where that's at. I got a good friend of mine who lives there. He's an artist there. He
what?
An artist.
Runs Goodyear store there.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. This is pretty.
Yes, it is. Beautiful today. Now all the big mountains you see straight out there in front of us in the distance, that's all part of Great Smoky Mountains National Park, that whole mountain range there. Over 520,000 acres of land in the park. Half of it's in Tennessee, the other half is in North Carolina. And then straight ahead of us here, this is the Wilderness of the Smokies Resort. It's a water park resort. Got 3 water parks, 2 outdoor, 1 indoor.
Ow.
And for some reason, the outdoor ones aren't open right now. Up in front of us to the left there is downtown Sevierville, which is named after John Sevier. He was the very first governor of Tennessee and a Revolutionary War hero. He and his men basically won the Battle of Kings Mountain, which by most accounts was a turning point for the American Revolution.
Isn't Dolly from here too?
She is. She grew up. See that water tower out there?
Yeah.
That mountain behind it, that shields a mountain. On the other side, to the left of it, it's a place called Caton's Chapel.
Oh, okay.
That's where she grew up.
I always wanted to fly helicopter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's not hard. I'm supposed to get my license next week. This is my first week. I'm pretty excited about it. The flight simulator on the internet.
You're joking. I was going to say, you gotta be. You gotta have your license, don't you?
Oh, boy. I wish I had a picture of your facial expression. That was
like,
great.
he's got to be kidding me.
Twin Towers southbound Scenic 1. It's been about 2 weeks, and I actually got my license yesterday, so no.
Mine should be in the mailbox at home. I got mine yesterday.
Do what?
I said mine should be in the mailbox.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
They have an app for that on the iPad.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. They have an app for that. I love that. Now, to the left over there, you can see the big rock quarry. Get a lot of gravel out of there.
Yeah.
Still active. It's about 300 feet deep at the deepest point. And we also get about 5% of our municipal drinking water out of there.
We didn't even know we were doing this. I flew across the road as we pulled in. We took the ride all the way around to head back home.
Oh, yeah?
I'd have brought my camera.
Oh, it's all good. Just remember it this way, right?
Yeah, we're coming back.
Oh, yeah. Come back in the, if you do the same flight or a little bit longer flight in the early summer, late spring, before it really gets crazy busy here, like the first couple of weeks in June, the heath balls up in the park start blooming. They're really pretty. If you come in October, of course, come early, go on a longer flight, you'll see the prettiest colors anywhere is up in the national park. They're always real bright up there because they always get a lot more rain. Anything up above about 3,500 feet is a temperate rainforest, and they get between 80 and 100 inches of rain every year.
I'll have a longer flight.
Well, yeah. Yeah, we got 3 longer flights than this one, or on a different map in there.
We just saw the yellow one at the
Oh, yeah. That's the longest we have on that map. We got a smaller map that has, it's a bigger scale map, but it's a smaller size map.
The balloon.
Yeah, that's Pigeon Forge right here to the left.
Look, Greg. Take balloon rides.
Yeah, it goes up about 400 feet, straight back down.
Oh, is that it?
That's
They
it.
don't take you nowhere.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a cable, it's just a tethered, it's a helium balloon, it's not even a hot air balloon.
I'm not taking no balloon.
Yeah, now Pigeon Forge got its name from a steel forge that used to be down close to where the old mill is now. And they didn't make anything major, just basically horseshoes and hardware for wagons. go.
Saw one like that coming in.
Yeah, this
Going
is
around.
at Pigeon Forge, and there's one, I think, north of Knoxville on 75. There's one south of Knoxville on 75.
Yeah.
There's a guy who just goes around the country, just puts those big crosses up, which is pretty awesome. Actually, there's going to be a church right down to the left there where they're excavating right there. It's going to be a church eventually.
Oh, okay.
And that property it's sitting on there is church property, so. And I'm sorry for the bumps. The wind's picked up a little bit as the day's gone on here, so.
That's what I was asking. I was worried about wind.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Trust me, it's been a lot worse than that here recently, but
Okay.
not too bad today. But it is picking up a little bit. Now, originally, the National Park, when they first came up with the concept for this park, the National Park boundary was supposed to go right underneath us here, parallel with the ridge in front of us, all the way out to Bluff Mountain, which is the big mountain behind us to the right. But everything you see in front of us and to the right here was supposed to be part of the park originally. But they drew those lines out in the 20s. They went to buy the property during the 30s, and of course that was during the Great Depression. And they realized they just couldn't afford all the property they had outlined there, so they erased the original lines and redrew them where they are now, which is on this big mountain in front of us to the right. That's Cove Mountain. Just goes right across the top of that mountain.
Oh, okay.
And straight ahead of us there, the farthest ridge you can see up there, that's Klingman's Dome, and that's the tallest mountain in the park. Right along
This
the
one or over there?
No, straight ahead of us.
Oh, okay.
This is Mount Lacan. It's the third tallest mountain in the park. It's just much closer, looks taller.
Oh, okay.
But that one's actually 50 feet taller than this one. The one to the left over there is in between the two. It's the second highest mountain.
Do a lot of these.
Do what?
Let's do a lot of these all day long.
I do a few of these. Some days I do a lot, some days I don't do very many. It's pretty steady today.
Back many times.
Do what?
So we'll be back quite a few times.
Well,
I promise
good.
you. I love this.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Helicopter tours in this area, the oldest attraction there is. They've been around, the helicopter's been flying over the Smokies since the late 50s.
I told her that my greatest ambition was to be a chopper pilot. I've done everything I've ever wanted, drag racing included, but not this.
Well, it's not too late. That's actually a little zoo down there. It's not open to the public. I don't know why. He's got some pretty big bears in there too, like Zodiac bears and stuff, or Kodiak
Probably
bears.
why.
Yeah, right, yeah, maybe.
Liability.
I guess. But lift your feet. Up on Gatlinburg. It'll be down to the left here in just a second. It was originally known as White Oak Flats. They changed the name during the Civil War. It's named after Radnor Gatlin. He owned the second general store here, but he wasn't anything like John Sevier. He was not a war hero. He was not well respected. I don't think anybody even liked him. So you're probably wondering why they name a town after a guy like that. Basically, during the Civil War, this whole area was pro-Union except for Radnor. He was the only Confederate. So they all just got together, told him if he would leave town that they would name a town after him. And that's why they call it Gatlinburg down to the left. Ober Gatlinburg, the ski slopes to the right here.
Oh, I see.
That man-made snow right there?
Yeah, most of it. We've had a little bit of natural snow, but yeah, they got a heck of a snow blowing system in there. We're getting ready to cross into the park. This place right here is new. I think they only built it about a year ago. And it's one of the most tremendous views right there. Isn't that crazy? All right, we just crossed into the park. So everything you're seeing down to the left is the park headquarters and the Sugar Land Visitor Center. And everything that we're going to be flying over on this flight, about 400,000 of the 520,000 acres of land that makes up the park actually was logged at one time. It wasn't like they just cut down a couple of trees here and there. They clear cut all of this. So we'd have been flying through here, say, 80 to 100 years ago. It would have been nothing but tree stumps below us. Really bad problems with erosion. Now there are about 1,600 black bear in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is 2 black bear per square mile, which is a really dense population. The big mountain to the left over there is called Sugar Lands, and it's got the highest concentration, which is even more than the 2 per square mile. But it's a little bit warmer today. You never know. Just keep your eyes open. I will not be able to turn around because I've tried it before and I never can find it. But you never know. You might see a little black blob moving through the trees here. Be a black bear coming out from hibernation because it's pretty warm today.
Any idea why that the one mountain is so dense with bears?
I think it's because of the food sources there. You know, they like hard, soft mast, nuts and as well as berries and stuff. And there's a lot of really diverse plants on there. You know, they have the acorns, a lot of oak trees there, and then of course there's a lot of berry trees. And there's a lot of wild grapevines all through the park. But that front of that mountain just covered with great wild grapevines. Now this is Elkmont. We just crossed into, home of the largest campground in the area, or in the park rather. The big building down to the left right here, you can see part of the campground. This one right down here, right down below us there, that's the Wonderland Hotel.
Oh.
What's left of it anyway. And that was the inspiration for the movie Holiday Inn with Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby back in the 30s, I guess. And this big mountain up here to the left, the pointy one's Blanket Mountain, but this other one over here is called Biggs Mountain. It's named after Return Jonathan Biggs. You guys ever heard of him? Return Jonathan Biggs, never heard of him? Ever heard of George Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, okay, awesome. Anyway, when George Washington was president, Return Jonathan Biggs was just as well known as George Washington was, because George Washington hired him to tell him where the United States was, because before that they hadn't had any survey done, and so he came right through here. But that mountain's named after him. There's actually a waterfall up in front of us down to the left. You can't see, we're not going to go over it, but it's named after him as well. And down to the right, the road that we're flying over here, this is the Little River and the Little River Road.
Yeah, you can see it all on.
Yeah,
Cool.
and when they logged this, that was train tracks. That's how they hauled those big logs out. You got to remember, these trees are all small, maybe 2 or 3 foot diameter.
River down there? It's cool, right along the road everywhere.
Yeah, all the way down through. You can see it over here too.
Cool.
But the trees they cut down here were like 7 and 8 foot diameter, mostly white oaks and poplars. When they first started logging, they were cutting down American chestnuts, and some of those were, believe it or not, almost 30 feet in diameter. Metcalf Bottom's down to the left. That's the little picnic area. Great in the summertime because you can put your feet in the river. It goes right just this side of it down there. And then down to the right is a one-room schoolhouse called Little Greenbrier. You'll see here just a second. Straight down to the right there. See it?
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much. Farther up is the Walker Sisters' place, and that was basically 5 single ladies who lived there, kind of conned the park and let them stay there. When they went to form the park, they went to about 6,000 different homes and told people they had to leave. When they showed up at the Walker Sisters' place, they said, well, we don't have any other place to go. We're just little old ladies. We're not going to live much longer. Can we just live out the rest of our days here? And the park fell for that. And they lived another 30 years. But of course, they lived in primitive conditions, no electricity, no running water. We just crossed out of the park, by the way, although this was all intended to be part of the park all the way out to the big ridge there in front of us. This is Wares Valley. Are you guys familiar with Cades Cove?
I've heard of it.
Yes.
Okay. Cades Cove is a settlement community inside the park. It has an 11-mile paved loop road that goes around it, and it looks a lot like Wares Valley, except Wares Valley has a smaller mountain on the north side here. This is Hatcher Mountain. The big mountain to the left over there is called Cades Cove Mountain, and Cades Cove's on the other side of it.
A lot of cabins over there.
Yep, that's what they call the quote-unquote preserve. That's the name of the place. I'm not sure what they preserved. It wasn't trees. Yeah, a lot of rental cabins. There's about 17,000 rental cabins in Sevier County.
5 miles out, inbound for landing, runway 25.
Those rental cabins right there?
Straight to the right, this is Hickory Hollow. Yeah, those are all rental cabins right there. And those ones on the ridge as well. That's the preserve, is Hickory Hollow. These are homes right here in front of us to the right. Little bigger tracks. Little bigger buildings. And then down to the left here is a church camp called Camp Bioka. Busy place in the summertime. And once we cross over, this is Sinkhole Mountain to the right of us. Once we pass this by, you'll be looking down Walden's Creek, which is one of the last relatively undeveloped areas in the county. And these green roof cabins up there, just there in the ridge. That's Brothers Cove. That's another nice little cabin rental area. But that's Walden's Creek right there. Pretty little valley. A few years back, I don't know how many years it was, they were doing a thing for Dollywood. You see that barn down there on this end? It's got the cows on this side of it. Looks like the whole wall's out of it.
Yeah.
Well, they took the wall off of it before. I thought they put it back on. Looks like they're taking it back off, but they were doing a video with a helicopter. Wasn't anybody from around here. They brought somebody from Atlanta, which we don't understand why. But anyhow, they were doing some low-level filming over there, and the guy put his tail into a big round bale over there and crashed the helicopter. Didn't get hurt, but
Oh my goodness.
yeah. Anyway, in front of us there's about 7,000. I'm not sure why I told you guys that. I usually don't share that story, but
779
I just noticed that the whole wall was off of the
runway 25 Seymour.
off of that barn over there. Anyway, 7,000 acres here. There's dirt trails here and there. That's where they ride the four-wheelers.
Oh,
This is
cool.
part of Bluff Mountain Adventures. And you guys have heard of the Tennessee Valley before? Okay. Well, once we cross over the high ridge up there, we'll be looking across the Tennessee Valley. That's actually where we took off from. A big glacier came through here and knocked all the mountains like what we're flying over here into the smaller hills you're going to see. But it's 70 miles wide. You can see all the way across right now. It's about 200 miles long. Don't worry, I'm in a tree all day. Tennessee Valley.
Oh.
Downtown Knoxville about halfway across. Basically, when the glacier came through, it took the whole front of this mountain off here to the right. That's where these rock bluffs came from. When it melted, it was a sheer rock face. And this mountain was a whole lot taller. All this underneath us, including the little mountains to the left, is just the erosion from this mountain over the last 12,000 years. The only thing left from that rock face are those rock bluffs there. And we've got a bluff down inbound. Scenic one.
How long have you been doing this?
Let's see.
Now.
Just messing with you.
Years?
I've been flying for about, it'll be 33 years next month. And I've been doing this, be 26 years in April.
Around here?
Yes, ma'am. 26 years here in April, yeah.
Have you ever went down?
Not this week. It's been a really good week.
Have you ever seriously almost did, though? I mean, have you ever...
I had a drivetrain failure once, yeah.
Okay.
Really don't want to hear.
It was a very big deal. I mean, that's the awesome thing about helicopters. I'll show you when we come in for landing how non-eventful it is. If the engine fails or the drivetrain fails or whatever, it's really not a whole lot to it. Helicopters are super safe. Just for reference to the right over there is Pigeon Forge again. Should go for down, Scenic one. Now it's actually more stressful trying to get the helicopter out of the field than putting it in the field, really.
Oh. It's a lot smoother ride than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's all pilot technique. Those internet courses, I'm telling you, they did great.
I did good on mine.
Yeah. Actually, that flight simulator, the Jet Ranger on there, pretty dang accurate. The gauges and stuff are really, really accurate. The only problem is it feels like you're sitting about 10 feet up and you're on the ground. Everything else, though, is pretty accurate on that thing.
That's just like drag racing, though. When you're going over 200 miles an hour, everybody thinks they can do it, but when your front wheels leave for the 1/8 of a mile of the track straight up,
Yeah.
they want to know if I got a camera in there.
Yeah. Now we're coming up on Chapman Highway right here in front of us. This is named after David Chapman. He is considered the father of Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And the main reason for that is that he talked one gentleman into donating half of all the money they needed to buy the property here, which was no small task because it was during the Great Depression, and the amount of money they needed was about $5 billion. Of course, the gentleman did donate that money, but he did it with a condition that no one would ever have to pay to get into this national park. It's why it's the only free national park in the country. You probably never heard of the guy, though. He was pretty obscure. His friends all called him JD. His employees just called him Mr. Rockefeller. You ever heard of that guy? You have, really?
Rockefeller.
You're educated.
You sound like him when he talks.
So, of course, they had this little small business I didn't think anybody heard of. It's called Standard Oil, which is now Exxon Mobil, right? Largest corporation in the world. $5 billion is probably nothing to him.
That's how they started out with Standard Oil.
Yeah. Little small house there, huh?
Yeah, it's small, like.
That's my summer home. I consider it cozy. Yeah, right. You're right. I couldn't even afford the driveway. Actually, I don't think I could even afford the gates they have down there.
You're gonna have a better chance at it than I would. It was pretty, the water behind it too.
No, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a really pretty house. It's one of my favorites.
Like right here, look.
Yeah.
That is so neat.
Yes, it is. Now, straight ahead of us out there in the distance, that lake out there, it's Douglas Lake. That's a TVA storage lake. That just means that they lower it down every year for flood control. But when it's full of water, it's got over 30,000 acres of surface area. So it's a pretty good sized lake. And if you like to fish, that is the number 5 crappie fishing lake in the whole country. It's number 10 for largemouth bass. And they have all kind of tournaments over there. It's I took a guy here a couple months ago. He said a friend of his won a tournament over there, won $250,000. I was like, what? Fishing? You can win that kind of money fishing?
Surprise, yeah.
Who knew? I mean, I'm a terrible fisherman, but if I knew you could win that kind of money, I would have paid more attention when I was a kid.
Well, back home in Mississippi, they got the casinos there the past 10, 15 years.
Right.
Well, they have the big fishing tournaments there, the deep sea.
Right.
And they'll have $1 million pots.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I know.
Wow.
They do it once a year in May, and they come in for 3, 4, 5 days. And
wow. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a terrible fisherman. I don't know why. I just don't have a knack for it at all. My stepson, he's awesome at it. He's a great fisherman. But
I deep sea fished one time.
Yeah,
Cabo.
I like to sail and stuff, and I've fished off the back of a sailboat, you know, or sail, and you catch stuff trolling kind of a deal. It's always fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm just, as a general rule, I'm just a terrible fisherman. All right. Well, we really appreciate y'all flying with us today. I hope you enjoyed your flight with me. I hope you all have a fantastic time while you're here, and a real safe trip and you head back home.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think you missed a mountain back there. Can we go see it?
Oh, you have to come back. Can't show you everything at one time.
Oh, now I see where we're landing.
That's
I was looking.
Golf course on approach, Scenic one. Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. Now, when we land, just leave your headsets on. They're going to get your picture wearing them in front of the helicopter, but do watch your step there as you get down. And we would certainly love it and appreciate it if you'll just tell everybody to come fly with the yellow and black helicopters.
Honey, I'm putting it on Facebook when I get home.
Oh, yeah, like us on Facebook. We love that. Send us everybody. We'll take all the help we can get.
Got a lot of junk metal there, don't he?
Yeah, this is the people who build all the roads in this area. It's a salvage yard. It's definitely a mess. It wasn't anything like that when we started. They just keep adding junk. All right, thanks again. You have a fantastic day. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right,
Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
good deal. Thank you. Watch your step there.
Gosh.